Hello everyone, it's me. I'm back again. I'm so sorry for not making too many videos. I know you guys had popular requests. Unfortunately, I think several of those requests were considered a little bit inappropriate. But yes, some of my recent uploads have included swearing, but that was because it's a parody, it's a YTP, so that's something that I kind of wanted to do anyways. Just to experiment with a couple of things on the channel. It's nothing too serious, so if you guys have parental concerns, you are more than welcome to reach out to me via email. Just go into my about section. Not my about section, what is it called? My posting section. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't remember what it's called, but where I get the section where people do like updates and upload photos and stuff. Just go to that section where the about section is, somewhere in that area, and then you'll click on it, and then you should scroll down a little bit, and you should see where my email is. So you can email me if any of you have cousins or grandmas or grandpas or parents, like mother or father, that have a response to me. That just happens to be negative feedback or positive feedback. I'm open to both. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will answer your emails very professionally and address your concerns at the core. So just please reach out to me via email, okay? So I have very exciting news for you guys. I don't know if you guys remember, some of the Canadian viewers might, if you guys are like true Canadian. I don't know, depends. Maybe you've seen this, maybe you haven't, but Mighty Machines is a Canadian production show that was done many, many years ago. Season 3 ended on a 2008 note, I believe. So they just kept doing reruns, I think, until before 2010. Then they completely stopped airing the show on TVO Kids and Treehouse TV. So I'm so sorry, guys, if I'm talking fast. I'm excited. So I reached out to one of the voice actors for Mighty Machines, and guess what? She's alive and well, and she responded to me herself. This is just going to be part 1 of me just telling you kind of like what happened, how this came to be and everything. But I was just reaching out to her and said, hey, so this is basically what I said. I said, hello, Pat Rosebank, or Rose, for short. And I said, I loved your work on Mighty Machines. I grew up with the show. If you could do something different, what would you change about your character? I loved your characters. I loved your voice work. It was fantastic. That's in short what I said. And she said, well, first she said hello, thank God. She's kind of like a little sarcastic guy, so like her email was a little, I can't really tell the tone. It's not necessarily a disrespectful tone, but it's like almost, it's just weird a little bit, that's all. So she said hello. She did mention that Mighty Machines was over 21 years ago. I'm aware of that, and I think I touched a nerve in her. She said hello. Mighty Machines was a very long time ago, 21 years, and that her work on the show, like so many other shows. I did ask her if she met the other cast members, which included Suzanne Hirsch and Edward Durani. I think that's how you spell it, or how you say it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I asked her if she met Suzanne or Edward or something, or maybe even Chuck Vollmer. She said no. She said once a gig is done, she doesn't get like nostalgic necessarily over these things, it would seem. So she said once a gig is done, she moves on and she doesn't look back, and they have never met each other, guys. If you didn't know anything about voice work, most of the time it's done individually. They record their lines individually. So I will get into that. I will upload a part 2 of her exact responses. I'm just trying to reiterate because this happened the other night. So like I think 2 nights ago, Friday? Not Friday. Thursday? I think this happened Thursday night. And tomorrow's Saturday, so yeah. So Thursday night I reached out, or Thursday morning or something, I reached out, and later in the afternoon, I didn't get to her messages until night. So I emailed her over Gmail, and I just thought I had touched a nerve in her. And I responded back to her like, I'll upload it so you guys can see what she said, especially in the about section. It's so good, you guys. Like, oh my god. I felt so much better about everything that was going on once I spoke to her because I finally got clarification after all these years. You guys, I promise you, if I had Gmail when I was a little girl, I would have reached out to Pat Rosebank. I had zero idea she even had Gmail, because I don't have like AOL or anything like that. So she actually had Gmail for a while. So I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? And she said they did the rehearsals on Zoom, but she's never actually met Edward, Suzanne, or Chuck Vollmer, or anyone else who has ever worked on the show prior to even season 3. Because so Edward, Suzanne, and her never got on season 3, in case you guys weren't aware of that. They moved on after season 2 had finished wrapping. So, from, I think, 1998 to 2004. So, something like that. You would know if you have the OG commercial saved from Treehouse, where it says up next, Mighty Machines is coming on. So I've never reached out to like a literal celebrity before, so this is really good. We had a decent conversation. I was just asking her, do you still live in Canada? She said yes. I was asking her, I was like, because I was like teasing her about the high mortgages and rate and everything, and she's like, you don't find the mortgages high, you don't find the rent high. She's like, no, Canada takes care of its citizens. And oh my god, you guys are going to see the whole thing picture by picture. She says, no, Canada really takes care of its citizens. And then she said something about Scandinavian people. You guys, she like went on a whole tangent, but it's fine though. It's fine. I am an actual fan of her. This is not like a too far of a reach, but it feels good to finally get somewhat of answers. Oh, and I did ask her. I said, do you remember how the show made the song at the sawmill? Working at the sawmill is a parody on the show of working on the railroad. So if you're old enough to remember that from the 90s or something, so it kind of goes like this: I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. So they kind of just based it off of that because that was like years ago. So she said she loves the song too, and that it makes them, so they recorded their lines individually. It makes them in the studio sound, the sound editor puts it all together and makes it sound like they're in the same room with each other while they're recording their lines. She said absolutely not, that's not the case. They have never met each other, and she does not keep in touch with the rest of the cast. And I'm like, okay, clarity, because sometimes you'll have work relationships or you'll make friends with the people you meet on set. So she's never met these guys. She also told me about the production company. There was one episode she wasn't cast for. I don't remember which one it is. I have to go back through the list. So yeah, she's pretty open. I did try to reach out to Edward. My email never went through. So if you guys know where Edward Durani is, please give me his email, because I have the correct email, but it's not going through for some reason, and I've sent it a couple times now. So it's very similar to what I sent to Mrs. Rose. So yeah, it's crazy, you guys. Like, you're gonna see word for word. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm just so grateful that she even responded to me. We were just having a chat, because she was saying that how amazing it is to have everybody reach out to her, I guess, in a kind of a way, but she seems a little irritated. That how many people watched the show when they were kids and everything. So meeting her over email was like pretty good. And I don't know if I will be able to get her autograph, so this is like the closest thing I have. And you know what? I don't regret it one bit reaching out to her, because I just really wanted to know what it was really like behind the scenes and everything, and how things used to work. Some of the details she did tell me were kind of wrong. Unfortunately, she said at the snowstorm, and so it's actually in the snowstorm. That's what the DVD says. So yeah, that's literally what the title of the thing is. So that's okay. Sometimes details from older shows you don't remember so well, so I absolutely do not blame her for what happened. And she did say one of her lines, if you guys remember the transit episode, I think 2004, 2005 that came out. So basically, what ended up happening is she was doing an impression of a different character on the show. And you know when the line says clang, 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 I'm a streetcar when they're talking about transportation? Something before that came that they recorded in the studio and it ended up being super inappropriate and they had to change it a little bit. But she also did really high pitched voices and she told me that her producer, the producer and manager on set were like laughing in the studio and like they're like, "Are you sucking in helium or anything like that?" And they're just like, "No." So they realized how versatile and how much of an asset she was to the show. And they put her on for multiple voices because on her website, if you guys go to rosebank.com, it says that she voiced 31 voices on Mighty Machines. So if you guys go back and binge watch all the episodes, you'll know which one she isn't in before season 3 starts and how many other episodes she's in. But basically, majority of season 2 she's involved in. So I don't have my laptop fixed yet, so I can't really like pick up my phone camera and show you via laptop. So I'm gonna upload the responses separately and then just do like a voiceover in iMovie so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Hopefully. Yeah, Rose Patte reaching out to me is freaking hilarious and awesome, and I told her, I said, you keep on rocking, girl. You are so fantastic and I love your work. But it would be nice to hear from Chuck Vollmer, you know, Suzanne Hirsch, and Edward. I really want to hear from Edward because he's one of my favorite voices on the show. So yeah. I love you guys. Stay safe. Have a good Friday night and be safe. Alright? I'm going to upload part 2 shortly after I edit this. Alright? Love you. Bye.